If you like your comedy short, fast, and funny, you've come to the right place. Comedy Time presents QuickLaffs, guaranteed to make you laugh in 30 seconds or less.
When I was pregnant, my doctor told me to exercise a little less than I normally would. That would be a coma, you guys.
It's horrible. You know, it's like my dad's name is Joseph. My mom's name is Maria. My name's Jesus, so we're like the Holy Family. Like, you did that on purpose, Mom. I thought it was cute. It's not.
I had a guy hit on me at the bar last week, comes right up to me, he's like, I've been watching you. Which is a bad start, right? You're very tall. Cool, he's observant. You don't move like a tall person. What does that mean? Does he expect me to walk in the room and just start dunking on fools? I'm like, hey, I'm here for dancing! Oh, what's up, y'all? Boom shakalaka! She's on fire!
Seemed like a fun job, man. You worked at the beach, girls walking around in bikinis. I checked the record books. I would have been the first black professional surfer. I would have been in the history books for breaking the color barrier. Right. Like Jackie Robinson did in baseball. Like Tiger Woods did in golf. Like Larry Bird did in basketball.
By now you may have noticed that my hands shake. I have what the doctors call essential tremors. Of course, the only thing I find them essential for is making margaritas when the blender's broken. And keeping my husband happy. Yeah, he gives me caffeine before we go to bed.
So I see my wife on the scale. She's on the scale naked, right? She looks down, she's upset, she put on 2 pounds. That's it, 2 pounds. You could poop that out. You know what I'm talking about? 2 pounds. Rather than walk away like a normal human being, she got off the scale, she went behind it and adjusted that knob. You know that little round knob? I could hear it all the way in the next room. Then she went back on. She went back on. I go, what the hell you do? You can't cheat like that. She goes, it wasn't on the zero. The line wasn't on the zero. I go, it's negative 17. What's wrong with you?
I know I'm getting old. This is how I know I'm getting old. I woke up 6 o'clock this morning thinking about what I was going to take out the freezer to cook. That's how you know you're getting old. I was supposed to be waking up with a hangover. I'm waking up with pork chops on my mind. Like, you know what? I'll probably fry it tonight. I'll probably bake it.
Eaters will ask you for things that are literally impossible to have. You know, they'll be like, this looks good, I'll have this, but can I get that without onions? Can you do that? It's like, well, those are onion rings, so no, I can't do that. I'm a waiter, not a wizard. I could check with Gandalf in the back, but I'm pretty sure we can't do it.
But I tell you guys, I got pulled over. But your cop gave me some good advice. I didn't know this. Did you know if you do not have car insurance, that's a $1,400 fine? Did you know that? I didn't know that. I have insurance. I have AAA. Love AAA. I love AAA so much, I pay my bill twice. I don't even care. They email me, you paid us twice. Well, you just keep it.
I just got this news. My dad is moving out here with me. Yeah, he's moving out 2 weeks before Christmas. He's gonna be here for Christmas. Ah, great, right? Yeah. Though he loves Christmas, though. The one thing about my dad, like every year when I was a kid for Christmas, my dad would dress up like Santa Claus. So for years, I thought Santa was an alcoholic who beats my mother. Like, hey, Santa, why do you puke in your beard? What if my mother in a headlock? And where's my bike?
I am cutthroat at this game. I didn't realize how bad it was until a couple weeks ago when I was playing against my grandma. And I saw I had the letters to spell out bitch, right? I was like, don't do it. But then I saw that I could play it across the triple word score. I was like, sorry, Grandma. I can't pass up. This is way too many points. Bitch, send. I felt bad about it, so they give you a little text box to write back and forth. So I was like, sorry about the word, but how about all those points? She was cool about it. She's like, oh, don't worry, good job. A minute later, she plays back, failure. I was like, oh my God, she used all 7 letters. She got 120 points. She wrote me in the text box, who's the bitch now?
This is how I knew it was over for this haircut. My friend called me up and he was like, hey man, did I see you in Hollywood last week? And I was like, I frequent a couple of the hot spots. You might have seen me on a couple of streets or something, whatever. And he's like, I think I saw you. You were going into a building. Were you wearing like a beige yarmulke?
It really is hard being an ethnic comedian. It really is hard being a Native American comedian. I did a show for one of my white comedian friends, and he got mad at me because I only brought like 2 people to the show. And he pulled me aside and he was like, dude, what's up? You only brought like 2 people to the show. And I was like, look, man, if you guys hadn't killed off half of my guest list, I probably would have brought more people.
One of the biggest things helping my weight loss is the fact that Paula Deen is no longer allowed to be on TV. Yeah! I don't care that she was racist, that's none of my business. I just get mad. You know how hard it was to lose weight when you'd go home after the gym, turn on the TV, and she'd look right at you, she's like, hey, y'all, want a mayonnaise cookie? Yes, ma'am, I do.
I went times at Trader Joe's, and we got in a small argument. She didn't believe me. There's no hot Cheetos at Trader Joe's. You know what I'm saying? And I was really embarrassed because I don't know if you guys know this, but a black guy's first time at Trader Joe's is a real big experience. You know what I'm saying? It's like our quinceañera. It's a coming of age. I had a suit on. My mom was with me. My dad walked me down the aisle. He was like, son, these are vegetables. I was like, it's nice. I held a squash in the air like baby Simba. It was a beautiful moment. She messed it up, man.
It's kind of weird, because like when old white dudes find out my mom's Filipino, they get excited. They always try to ice break with me. They're like, really? You know, my ex-wife, she's Filipino. She makes little egg rolls called lumpia. And that's kind of rude, because I don't come up to old white dudes and be like, hey, you know, I'm dating this white chick. She makes great asparagus with no seasoning.
Actually, though, I got laid off. Appreciate your sympathy, but it actually it ended up working out for the best for me, because I was able to find my real, true calling. And after all the years in school and the talks with my parents, I have finally found the job that I have been searching for: unemployment. Yes. I am up at the crack of 11:30.
All right, guys, let's talk about a hard-hitting issue: body hair, all right? I'm one of these guys. Hardly any chest hair, but for some reason, a lot of leg hair. It goes from my feet to my belt line, just stops. You know what that means? Could not go to the beach with a Speedo, it'd be weird. People look at me like, oh my God, is that a centaur? What the hell is that guy? I think his hooves have sandals.
I went to a costume party last night. I went as Pitbull. The rapper. It was a great costume. It really looked great. Like, everybody was like, oh, you look great. But the lead up to the party wasn't great. Because I'm like a method actor, I really study the character. So for 2 weeks leading up to this party, I only listened to Pitbull's music. Have you ever listened to Pitbull's music? It's terrible. It's not even music. He has 3 or 4 songs where the only thing he even says is, Dale! Dale!
I almost died a few years ago. I remember I was dating this girl, and 3 months after we broke up, she called me. And she was like, hey, Courtney, you might want to get tested, because I found out I got a couple STDs. I was like, really? A couple? You could have called me after the first one. Call me after the first one. You don't have to let them stack up to prove a point.
But it's these big dudes that make life so depressing. You know, I'm not talking about football players or big, halfway big dudes. I'm talking dudes that look like Precious, these dudes. Yes, big, muscular, the big dudes with the black around the neck, them type of dudes, Like, you ever see a dude so big till he got on Nikes, the Nike signs at the bottom of his feet because his shoes leaning too hard?
All these damn actors, LA's filming. You ever notice actors never act? You ever notice that? They never act. They wait tables. They go on auditions. They take acting classes. They never act, but they call themselves actors. No other profession does this. Nobody's like, I'm a plumber. Oh, so you fix broken toilets? No, but I take a lot of dumps.
Dinner table in my house was confusing because my daddy was black, my mama was white, my little brother was brown, my sister was blonde-haired and green-eyed. I used to sit at dinner going, man, somebody lying.
I have an impression that I'd like to do for you right now. You guys all know who The Rock is? You know Dwayne Johnson, The Rock? All right. Here's my impression of The Rock performing stand-up comedy. Okay, The Rock performing stand-up comedy. Now, in order for me to do this, I actually need some help in the audience. So you, sir, what's your name? It doesn't matter what your name is, jabroni!
Everybody asks the same question if you're from the Bay. So, is it really gay there? And it's like, San Francisco's not even that gay, man. It's just those hills make everybody look gay, all right? It's true. Everybody in this room has walked up a steep hill before, correct? Right, so it's impossible to do that task in a masculine way. Can't be done. All right, think about it. When you're walking up a hill, normally you're like, I'm good. But when it starts getting steep and your back tightens up and your legs start burning, all of a sudden your butt sticks out for no reason. And then your walk's kind of like, And that looks like, well, maybe he has. I don't know. I really don't know.
I was raised by conservative Indian parents. They didn't always approve of my performer lifestyle. I remember when I went to college and told my mom I was going to study acting. My mom was like, Sapna, how could you do this to our family? How could you ruin our good name? To get up on stage like a painted harlot? Where did you learn this acting?
I grew up middle class poor. For those of you who don't know what middle class poor is, we had stuff, but we didn't have good stuff. We had things that weren't what you would brag about. Like the kids, we had cereal, but not good cereal. So the kids who were eating Sugar Smacks, I didn't have Sugar Smacks, I had puffed wheat. Okay? Puffed wheat is just like Sugar Smacks without the sugar or the smack. Puffed wheat is such a bad cereal that the manufacturer thought they could make it taste better by injecting it with air. I don't think you're with me on this. Puffed wheat is so bad that even it doesn't want to be in the bowl. Like, it tries to escape. You have to hold it down when you add milk.
Glad I came to LA. I was hoping that I could figure a few things out, like, since y'all have an unemployment issue, I took notice of some things, Like, one question I have is, if unemployment is so high and ain't nobody got no jobs, why is there still rush hour traffic? Who's going to work? It's like you got somebody got fired, can't get unemployment at the front of traffic talking about, if I ain't going to work, ain't nobody going to work.
My girlfriend and I, we've been together for over 3 years now. It's the longest relationship I've ever had, thank you. Before her, longest relationship I had was 6 months. And that chick didn't even know about it. It's tough dating, man. It sucks out there. I remember I was single. I went on this blind date one time with this chick. I sit down, I open the menu, I look up, she goes, I have a disease. I was like, please be diabetes, please.
This is how I found out I was in a relationship, okay? I know Rich said it earlier, but I was lying in bed, and this is the first time it's ever happened. She farted on me. See, ladies, you giggle, and it's not funny, because she didn't do it like a dude, okay? She didn't Dutch oven me, then lift the sheets, and we laughed about it. It was gross, right? You wanna know why? Because I didn't hear it, that's why. Yeah, didn't hear it, didn't smell it, saw it. How nasty is that? Right? Yeah, some of you know what I'm talking about. You're laughing too hard, sir.
I applied to Target. The worst part about the Target application is they make you give 3 references. Yeah, I could come up with a few references. I just don't want anyone to know I applied to Target. Like, I moved away from home not too long ago. I don't want my friends back there being like, hey, why'd Steven move 2,000 miles away? I think he wanted to work at Target. Does he know there's more than one? I don't understand what the Target people ask your references when they call them. Just, hello, do you know Steven? Yes. Does he own a red shirt? Yes. Thank you. Click.
I stood out at the bar and I saw a couple of my peeps there, and I saw a couple of young guys. The young guys were drinking Boilermakers. My guys were drinking real Boilermakers. Gin with Metamucil chasers.
I got so much news. I just found out I was pregnant with rage.
The holidays just ended. I love the holidays because I get to spend time with my family. But my personal favorite holiday is Halloween, because Halloween's the one time a year Jehovah's Witnesses get to see what it's like for people to knock on their doors. Keep telling you we're not home.
Thank you. Thank you. You've been a great audience. Let me leave you with this. You know what's life-changing? Everything, all the time, constantly, every second of every day, always, forever. And meth. Meth can be life-changing if you do it right.
So I was out to dinner with my mom recently, and we're coming out of the restaurant after dinner, walking back to the car, and I had some leftovers with me. And there was a homeless guy sitting on the ground, so I went to give him my leftovers. And my mom was like, Hannah, don't give food to homeless people. They'll try to sell it and buy drugs with the money. Mom, who's buying food from homeless people? Like, who's like, sure could use a half-eaten sandwich from that dirty man yelling at himself.
I've been struggling a lot financially, which is why I've been shopping at the 99-cent store. And I realized you can get anything you need there, but just don't get the bath soap. I mean, like, I made this mistake. It definitely works, it kills the germs by eating through your flesh. That's how it gets to them.
Being light-skin's cool. It sucks sometimes, though, because white people ask me stuff they won't ask no dark-skinned person. Like, I like black people, I really do. But why did all of y'all vote for Obama? I'm like, you gonna assume because I'm black I voted for Obama? I'm a felon, I can't vote.
Having Asperger's is hard, on dating, and I think dating's just hard in general because there's all these dating sites, there's eHarmony, Match.com, Megan's Law, and...
Forgive my nervousness, the stage kind of looked like an auction block. And I'm black, so, yeah.
I feel like all the girls that ever broke up with me, it's always the same excuse every time. They're always like, here's the deal, like, I'm not in love with you anymore, but I still love you for who you are as a person. What? That's the same thing. What are you talking about? No, there's a difference. Like, I used to wake up every day and feel like there was a future with you, and I would wake up and think, like, I'm in love with you, but I don't see a future with you anymore, so for that, I still love you as a person. Like, what kind of crap do girls get to come up with to make situations easier in their life? Like, that makes no sense. Like, I wish I could do that in my everyday life. Like, I'm not in debt, but I have debt.
And I was trying to figure out why I sound like why I sound like this, and I figured it out. And it's because most people learn to speak from their parents. You know, a lot of people sound like their parents. My parents are African, and when they talk, they sound really African. And so at a young age, I made a conscious choice. I was like, not gonna sound like you foreigners. And instead, I learned to talk from watching children's television. So that is why I sound exactly like Arthur the Aardvark. Hey, DW, see?
Now, I hate irritating coworkers, you know. Like, don't you hate it when you get to work late and somebody tell you good morning, but really they trying to announce you late for work? Like, good morning. Was traffic bad on the 405?
I went to a religious rehab, and my first AA meeting, it was like a Christian AA meeting. At the end of the meeting, this man comes out and starts serving everyone wine. And I turn to my sponsor, Steve. I'm like, dude, what is going on? He's like, Eric, it's cool. Once they bless the wine, we can drink it because it transforms into the blood of Christ. I'm like, oh, really? Can they bless this bag of cocaine?
Girls say they want a nice guy. Guy is gonna not take advantage of them. Girls don't want a nice guy. Girls say they want a nice guy. They want a nice dick. Girls say they want a guy who's gonna write them poetry. Guy's gonna take them for long walks on the beach. Yeah, that's true. Girls want those things after they get pounded by a dick.